can turn this into something positive and maybe it'll spread.
He's the most positive person on his job.
Now you're cured.
I feel good.
Good morning and welcome to Positively Milwaukee. This month marks my 30th year here at TMJ4, and we thought it would be a great idea this year to look into the vault and look at some of the most memorable people I have featured over these many years. And one man whose kindness touched me was Henry Ray from Waukesha County. He was the first person in Wisconsin to undergo a kidney transplant. Henry Ray passed away this summer, but his legacy lives on. Wisconsin's first kidney donor. He told me why he was fearless undergoing that pioneer surgery. The year was 1958. Henry Ray wanted to save his brother's life.
Any test they needed to go through, me to go through, I said, let's go. Blood test, whatever it was. I was willing.
Henry's twin brother lived 5 years after the operation, long enough to have a child. That child, Beverly Weber, is now an adult living in North Carolina. But I got a chance to meet Beverly when she made a trip to Milwaukee recently.
Is this my good side?
Beverly and the rest of the family recently toured our studios. We had fun taking pictures and mugging for the camera.
Go Packers!
But behind the smiles, a serious message about organ donation. I have signed up to be an organ donor, but less than 30% of the population has actually done that. In fact, they haven't even discussed the issue with their families. Henry Ray wants people to know you can do quite well living with one kidney.
My wife and I have been extremely blessed with good health and raising our family.
And a memorial for Henry Ray was held Friday, October 8th at Spring Creek Church in Pewaukee. He was 88 years old, but as I said earlier, he lives on. When you think of a teacher working with very young children, you might picture a woman, but a man in Milwaukee is trying to change those stereotypes. Jessica Maduker talked to him about his unorthodox career path.
No, thank you. Stop.
It's a role that's typically filled by a female. Fewer than 3% of preschool and kindergarten teachers are men. That's according to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics. But Jeremy Walton has been working for the last 2 decades to break that stereotype here in Milwaukee, one child at a time.
It was my time to come back. It was my time to be here and be a part of the movement of men of color starting to change the stigma and the stereotype.
Jeremy left a career in IT to pursue his passion in early childhood education.
What was more impactful? Troubleshooting technology needs or helping to build better people.
And next door was the place for him to build. It's a learning environment that specializes in early childhood education, serving nearly 1,400 children in Milwaukee County, ranging from as young as birth to 5 years old. Jeremy is the only male Head Start teacher, which means he's working with toddlers every day. While the kids are developing at the speed of light, he sees this position important now more than ever for other young Black children to see a mentor as they grow.
They can be spoken to in a way that they know that they are valued and that they belong here.
It's important that children see themselves in that role. You know, our children, we want to see, we want to make sure that we provide a positive role model.
So then maybe one day these adorable little faces can be role models themselves in society.
Because then now tomorrow they become the thinkers. Now tomorrow they become the IT professional. Tomorrow they become the engineer.
Or maybe the next male teacher.
I love that, and those were some really cute faces, weren't they? And hopefully they are learning a lot, especially about all the wonderful opportunities that are open for us when we have an open mind. A Milwaukee native had a life-changing experience at a Harry Styles concert. She used it as an opportunity to share some important information with her mom. Katie Crowther tells us about a viral moment that captured the hearts of thousands.
It's a moment this mother and daughter will never forget. Harry Styles picked 23-year-old McKinley McConnell out of the crowd.
I can tell you. Lisa! She's good!
Styles had noticed McKinley's poster. Her mom, Lisa, was up in section 201.
When he was starting to read the posters, I could see on the Jumbotron, Michael, that's my daughter, that's her poster.
When McKinley was making the poster at home in Hartford, she told her mom not to look. So Lisa didn't, but she did see the gold border on it. She had no idea, though, the message involved her and her daughter's sexuality.
It was a very beautiful, beautiful moment. You know, ultimately, you want your children to be happy. They're just basic human rights, just to be loved and have joy and happiness with whomever they would like.
Lisa and McKinley hugged and talked for hours after the concert.
I'm more than blessed to have both my parents. I mean, my dad wasn't at the concert, but obviously he saw everything. I'm so blessed to have both my parents be super supportive. Afterwards, she just kept telling me like how much she loves me, how proud she is of me.
Wow, that is so wonderful. And what a memorable night. Now, it's really not every day that you get to talk to Harry Styles, so let alone get involved with something so special. So congratulations. The best jobs in the world combine your passion with a paycheck. A man in Wauwatosa knows that firsthand. James Groh talked to him about his love of gaming.
All of the different games, including video games and cards and all these different things, tabletop games and stuff like that, there's probably a couple thousand here.
This isn't an arcade. It's Daniel Lewson's basement in Wauwatosa. He loves fixing pinball machines and arcade games.
One of the things that's really true with pinball and arcade games is that if you don't play them and look at them regularly, they break. And so it's much better to have them set up.
It's one reason he has so many in his basement, but it's also part of his job. He makes sure that these and a whole warehouse full of games are running properly. Daniel is the co-founder of the Midwest Gaming Classic.
Talking pinball machines, we should have over 150. Arcade games, we should have over 100 arcade video games. Home consoles, probably over 200. The goal of it really is to bring together all these divergent communities online that they meet up again because of their passion for gaming. And then this is the place where they can actually meet in real life to share that passion with one another.
A lot of those games are actually the ones in Daniel's home.
My basement has the unique, I guess, funness of it's full of the stuff that we do at the shows.
So for Daniel, it's kind of like the Midwest Gaming Classic is every day.
Yeah, really. The Midwest Gaming Classic was held the first weekend of November at the Wisconsin Center, but as you saw his basement, it's really kind of like a gaming classic every day of the year. Really fun. Well, don't go away because we have more amazing stories coming up after the break, including how a beloved Milwaukee icon is inspiring young journalists years after his death. Welcome back to Positively Milwaukee. The wife of the late Eric Vaughn is using his memory to shape our future. And the community is helping Faith Colas pay it forward through a shared investment in quality journalism.
I'm excited to just go and see what happens.
The fresh faces of young journalists eager to tell stories and hone their craft.
I've always wanted to be on a team that covers a story like this.
These young ladies got an opportunity of a lifetime when they were awarded the WUWM Eric Vaughn Broadcast Fellowship.
7:35 on a Monday morning, it's the Eric Vaughn Show. I'm Eric Vaughn.
The gift is in honor of the late journalist Eric Vaughn. The beloved and well-respected Milwaukee man died in 2016 after more than 25 years in radio. He interviewed local leaders from all walks of life on issues important to Milwaukee. His widow, Faith Colas, tells me what she misses most about her late husband.
I miss every single thing about him, including hearing his voice.
Colas is proud that with the help of UWM, the Eric Vaughn Fellowship is shaping the next generation of journalists. It has to be bittersweet and feel good to know that this is what has come out of it, out of your husband's legacy.
It is bittersweet, living life without Eric, living for this city to not have Eric Vaughn in it. But the sweetness is that his legacy lives on in all of the fellows that will become part of the WUWM Eric Vaughn Broadcast Fellowship.
And the fellows are excited about their opportunity. This year's winner, Simone Cazares.
I honestly couldn't say anything. I was so shocked when they called. This has been my dream since I was 15 years old, to be a fellow at a major public radio station like WWM, and to hear that I had gotten the opportunity to pursue my dreams and to go to a new city and to do something new and to finally get the chance to be the reporter that I always wanted to be. I was just so shocked, that they had chosen me out of everyone else. So
27-year-old Taryn Powell is a Marquette graduate. She was awarded the first ever Eric Vaughn Fellowship 4 years ago. That led to a full-time job at WUWM, where she's the race and ethnicity reporter. Powell says being a Vaughn Fellow has opened doors.
Yep. I had a alderman tell me, I'll talk to you when I want to do the interview. So, yeah, it was definitely a plug, and I appreciated that.
Eric Vaughn Fellows get more than a career launch.
This is a $70,000 a year fellowship. And when the fellows come in, they are paid a full-time salary. It's benefits that they get, vacation, time off, and they get experience.
Eric Vaughn worked at a number of radio stations, including WNOV-AM. His last job was at WUWM 89.7 FM.
His work did make a difference in the seeds of people listening, right? People made decisions differently. They listened differently. They thought about this community differently, whether by themselves or with their family or in their workplace. He did make a difference, and this fellowship is proof of that.
Supporters of the fellowship appreciate Vaughn's passion for improving Milwaukee.
The Eric Vaughn Fellowship is fully funded by gifts. So people that know about the work that Eric has done, who appreciate his legacy, who appreciate the work that he did in this community, who love the idea of building the next generation of broadcast journalists, they donate.
And the young fellows feel a responsibility to live up to Vaughn's commitment to the greater good.
For me to be able to continue the work that he did, it's a huge honor, and I don't take that responsibility lightly. I want to continue to tell the stories of people who look like me, people who don't see themselves represented on the air, and to be able to do that through the Eric Vaughn Fellowship and continue on his legacy just means the world to me.
I always used to say I want to be a reporter to give a voice to the voiceless, and there's nothing wrong with saying that, but these are people who have voices, and they just need a platform to be able to talk about what's happening to them and around them. And so that's what I really appreciate about the race and ethnicity reporting. It's teaching me so much, and I'm able to educate the community as well, so I like it.
Their voices are heard on NPR. Their work is heard on NPR. Their work is heard through the airwaves here at WUWM. And so whether they decide to stay here or not, wherever they go with their career, they got their start here in Milwaukee at WUWM through the Eric Vaughn Broadcast Fellowship. What could be better?
So as these young ladies embark upon the career of their dreams, they're inspired by a man they never met, whose presence lives on.
I'm just so thankful to have the support of, all of my mentors here at WWM. It's just the most amazing thing to me.
Even to this day, knowing how many people still think about Eric and keep his name alive along with this fellowship it's really amazing.
His work did make a difference in the seeds of people listening, right? People made decisions differently. They listened differently. They thought about this community differently, whether by themselves or with their family or in their workplace. He did make a difference, and this fellowship is proof of that.
And this is a blessing for the Milwaukee community. If you'd like more information on applying or supporting the Eric Vaughn Broadcast Fellowship, we do have a link on our website on our Positively Milwaukee Facebook group page. Coming up after the break, 90 years old is a big birthday. We're going to tell you how students celebrated one of their favorite teachers. But first, we're going to meet our Positively Milwaukee Pet of the Week.
Morning, I'm Johanna with HAWS, the Humane Animal Welfare Society, and today we are joined by my friend Leroy. He is a 2-year-old mixed breed dog. We recommend him with older kids because he's a stronger boy, He's super, super playful and energetic. So if you're looking for a running partner or someone to go hiking with you, that would be a good fit for him. He is a smart guy who is open to training. So if you're looking to train a dog to do tricks, this might be the fellow for you. He has an overall bubbly personality. He's a good dog and fun and entertaining. Leroy does qualify for a thanks for giving us a home promotion. Through that promotion, the adoption fee for all pets 6 months or older will be 50% off. We're hoping to get our shelter cleared and have the pets home for that wonderful holiday so they can be thankful with you on Thanksgiving. If you're looking to find someone like Leroy, please give us a call at 262-542-8851 or visit us online at hawspets.org and find a pet that's positively Milwaukee.
Welcome back. It's a big birthday celebrated in a big way. Grandma Arla has been a fixture at Raymond School for years. Sarah McGrew tells us her students wanted to show her exactly how much she is loved.
The Raymond School is where Miss Arla Erdl has been an educator, substitute, and as the school now calls her, a grandma volunteer.
I remember when in kindergarten, my teacher always used to say, Grandma Arla's coming, and it always used to be like a very fun thing to have that experience.
In class, Miss Arla shares her love of reading and writing with students. But for the last 2 years, she hasn't been in the classroom due to the pandemic.
Certainly, I'm sure she misses it a whole lot. We miss seeing her smiling face and her happy attitude and her giving nature.
But now, as Arla turns 90, her students wanted to celebrate her in a big way. Students from the school gathered outside to surprise Miss Arla for her birthday.
It's just unbelievable that they would all come out for me. I've had so many of them, and I had their parents and probably their grandparents too. I didn't know I was this important.
But students say she is that important.
Oh, that is so sweet. Now, it is clear Grandma Arla has had an amazing impact on the kids' lives, and we really hope she gets to join them in the classroom again soon. Milwaukee's new art installation is designed to get you talking. Vince Vitrano spoke to leaders at the Art Museum about how they're trying to break down racial barriers.
So we're standing in the museum's East End atrium, which has been a site that we've been looking to activate for some time.
Activating a site is fancy words for they want to get more people over here. But until recently, this long wall was empty. Now it features the work of Brooklyn-based artist Derek Adams.
Derek has long been engaged in the legacy and history of the Green Book, which was a travel guide for African Americans during the Jim Crow era that provided a list of businesses that were safe. And so when he came to Milwaukee, he was interested in doing research into Black-owned businesses. He met with Black artists, but really interested in community sites where people come together.
Our Time Together mixes historic photographs and contemporary scenes from G's Clippers, Coffee Makes You Black, and the Wisconsin Black Historical Society. Some faces are familiar, and others deliberately ordinary.
What Derek's really trying to make us look at is ordinary, everyday Black life and celebrating and honoring that as much as we might historical trauma, which is what often makes the news.
Now with this facade turned to art, the museum hopes it's a wall that breaks down barriers.
And I think one of the exciting things about having this mural in this space is that it's an invitation and a platform for conversations. So these are conversations Milwaukee really needs to have, and not just at the Wisconsin's Black Historical Society, but in our daily lives.
Yes, and the museum specifically reached out to artist Derek Adams about this space. He came for a visit in 2019, and his mural will be displayed for 3 years. Well, one of the best holidays of the year is just around the corner, Thanksgiving. Who does not love a holiday that comes with a feast? So we decided to ask you, what is your favorite dish?
Ham. There's too much work to do the turkey.
Turkey. We've been married 53 years.
Cranberry sauce that's not from a can. My mom makes it. I just know that's my #1 looking forward to dish every Thanksgiving.
Obviously the cheese boards.
because that's what I make. That's what I can contribute. Usually do like 3 different kinds of cheeses. And then I will do some crackers, some jams, some fruit, stuffing. You know, it's really tasty. I like savory snacks, so that's why.
Turkey, a little bit of gravy. Add on some of that cranberry jam. That's about it.
I love pecan pie. It's nice and nutty, and it's got a nice graham cracker crust with that very nice custard in the middle. It's amazing. It's perfect.
Stuffing, duh. Green bean casserole because it's fattening and delicious.
I like it when it's like burnt on the edges, soft in the middle, just like me.
Favorite Thanksgiving food, gotta go with turkey. Authentic Thanksgiving food, always good that time of year.
Oh, everybody has their favorites. Now, Thanksgiving dinner really does have something for everybody. If you have a dish you want us to ask about or a question you have for next week, just go on to our Positively Milwaukee Facebook group and leave us a comment. A fluffy little kitten has a new hero and a new life. The story of his daring rescue and our first reason to smile this morning. Check it out. This little guy was found in a plastic grocery bag between a fence and a bush near the Milwaukee County Transit System Fleet Building. Jamie Henrick found the kitty, scooped him up, and took him to safety. Right now, we don't know whether the kitten will be up for adoption, but we thank Jamie for having a heart with his quick thinking for this adorable little thing. Well, we already knew it, but now the world knows it. Milwaukee is the best city in the U.S. That, according to a Twitter poll that got thousands of votes all over the nation. The city of Milwaukee went up against some heavy hitters like Miami, San Francisco, Chicago, New York City even. TMJ4's James Groh even went out to whip up some votes. And in the end, those voters knew what we all knew. There really is no place like Milwaukee. I'm going to be back with my quote of the week. I do not think the measure of a civilization is how tall its buildings of concrete are, but rather how well its people have learned to relate to their environment and fellow man. Our quote of the week comes from Sun Bear New Age author who is a descendant of the Ojibwa Nation American people. He hoped to teach people how to live in harmony with nature, and that's important to remember because we are surrounded by natural beauty in the Milwaukee area. As you go about your week, stay positively Milwaukee and respect all that is great about our lives.